All right, welcome back. So now we're gonna move into the more practical things. We went over the mental side of things in the first and second episode. Now it's time to get busy. This is where it get gritty. All right, like I mentioned to y'all, you have to eat through all of the bullshit before you can get to the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which is your physique, right? Lost my pen here. All right, cool. So today's topics we're gonna touch on who are you? Okay, who are you? We got to figure that out. Okay. Next to that, we're gonna figure out our body types. All right. What body type are you? All right. As I mentioned, bro, you can't follow any and everything because you are different, bro. Like this is your body. This isn't anybody else's body. This is why it's so important to get a coach because they're able to analyze and work with your body. All right. They're able to work with your body. You trying to read everybody else's book and everybody else how to. We got to figure out what works for you. What work for Beth ain't gonna work for Jimmy. You feel me? All right. How to work with your body is our third and final talk right there. All right. So boom. Topic. No, now. So starting out, who are you? I'm gonna move this out here. All right, let me reset this real quick. Uh cool. Boom, boom. And go ahead and blow this up. All right. So now let's make that out small. Here somewhere. All right. All right, man. Let's do it. All right. All right. All right. And when I ask this question, I'm asking like, what do you do? Literally. So you need to be asking yourself this question. Where do you work? Where do you work? All right. That's a really big one because hey, if you are working from graveyard shift, how are you gonna get into the gym? How is your food schedule gonna be? And things like that. So starting out with the topic, work. All right. You need to figure out your time frames literally. And that doesn't matter, bro. Whatever you adapt to, as long as you're consistent with it, you're gonna win, bro. So when people say don't eat by 9 p.m., like, what the fuck? What if you work graveyard shift? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is that gonna work? How is that gonna work? So you need to take the same like time frame and work that with whatever you're doing. So your intermittent fasting gonna be a little different timing, but you're gonna take the same hours. We'll speak about intermittent fasting in a minute. Not today, but in a separate video. Next to that, with work, what are you doing all day? Like, are you doing hard labor? Because if I'm doing hard labor, I can get away with not going to the gym. You are getting your physical activity in. You're getting those 10,000 steps in versus like a desk, right? You're sitting at the desk all day. You need to get into the gym. You know what I'm saying? You have to get into the gym. Okay. This is where things get a little bit deeper. And I'm super glad that you are still tuned in. If you're still watching this, like, I'm super glad because you are finally taking a step into really learning the systems. It starts base of like, yeah, you can literally just put more, lose, drop the calories or increase the calories and lose or gain weight. But it dives so damn deep. It dives so deep, just like any field, though. You feel what I'm saying? So y'all gonna become masters at the shit. Y'all gonna master y'all body. Sorry about my woman back there over there. Like, I don't know what's going on, but look, time frames, and then if you're at like hard labor or like a desk spot, right? Um, yeah. So that's big. So figure that out. Write that down and put this all in your notes. Okay. Next to that, okay. What is your occupation? What is your occupation? Okay. When I says, are you single? Are you married? Do you have kids? Like what, you know what I'm saying? That's huge. You want to know why? Because that affects your time. So you need to figure out how can I make time for myself, but also make time for the people around me. Okay. So that's very important. Next to that, all right, you got same thing. Is your relationship um is your relationship, if could you use your relationship as benefit? I know recently my motivation for the gym has been a little bit different than like typical. All right. So my women and I kind of came upon an agreement like, hey, let's push each other. All right. So hey, is it like a mutual thing? Do you have a partner that you could literally sell go with, bro? That's like huge. You got synergy there. You have a gym partner And not only that, like when you see your woman's eyes or when you see your man's eyes, it's like, yo, it's kind of hard to like give in. You know what I'm saying? Because you're fighting for a lot deeper purpose. That digs into that why a little bit, right? That we talked about in the second episode. Okay. Um, Occupation. Okay. And then if you are single, obviously you're gonna have more time and you might have even a little more grit, bro. Like straight up, you all ever hear the term like relationship weight? Like that shit is real, bro. Like when people get in relationships, like, dude, people put on weight, bro. It happens, bro. You want to know why? Because relationships are pretty comfortable, bro. They're so uncomfortable, but they are pretty comfortable. You feel what I'm saying? Like knowing that you have that person you go to when shit gets hectic, and no matter what, they gonna love you. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a very comfortable thing. Versus somebody who's dealing with them thoughts, like, and they don't have anybody to talk to. They have no one to talk to. No one. You know what I'm saying? So, like, take that in consideration as well. You'll notice some of them single folks, them motherfuckers, and they're going crazy. They got to cultivate that energy by themselves. You know what I'm saying? They don't have that competitive edge with, X person, right? Okay, boom. So that's big. Another one for who are you is like, what are your vices? What do you struggle with? What do you struggle with? Vices can be eliminated. Vices typically comes from boredom, so like the eating sugary foods at night, like you enjoy to eat sugary foods at night. Most people do. You got that sweet tooth, or you eat pork when you know you shouldn't, or this is what vices are. You know what I'm saying? The things that you know you shouldn't be doing that you do, and they kind of creep up on you when you're drifting, right? That's why I keep saying read out with the double. That term right there is big time. Vices come in when you are drifting. Okay, so I don't want to dive too deep into that. There, you need to dig into what your triggers are. You notice, like an example of that is like, oh, you saw, uh, for men out there, or for women, you saw this shirt that this lady had on, and you're like, you end up on like this shopping site, and you end up shopping hella. Okay, or you end up going to the Sheen store and you just scrolling, you saw, and you just keep scrolling, keep adding shit to the cart. That could be a vice. All right, and that accumulated from you being bored. If you weren't bored, you wouldn't be sitting there shopping unless you just enjoyed shopping. I don't know how that worked. But and for men, something could be like, oh, you saw something on TikTok when you were scrolling, and that led to one thing, and that led to another thing. Now you searching for a dopamine flux on the internet, on that tube. You know what I'm talking about. All right. These are vices. These come from boredom. Okay. So that's who are you. And you need to figure out how to cultivate these um you need to figure out how to cultivate these who are yous into like how can this like how can you turn these into your favor? How can we flip the switch? How can we flip this switch? All right. How can we make that go that way in our favor? Okay, maybe it's like something like, hey, whenever those things hit, whenever I feel like doing that, I gotta think about that anchor, them whys. Whenever them vices hit, you have to think about the whys. Every time when I was losing in my crazy journey, what people call it, what I call it, uh, every time I looked at a bad food, every time I looked at doing something I know I shouldn't be doing, bro, my whys poured in, bro. That's all I could think about, and it like literally made me look at it like shit. That's disgusting. I can't even do it. And a lot of times it's psyching yourself out if your whys aren't that deep. And that's why getting strong whys is huge. Because remember, when we got Frank saying, I just want to lose 100 pounds, he can't be like, when he goes up to the boxing series, he's like, oh, I just want to lose 100 pounds. That, if anything, that's going to pull him towards it. You feel me? Now, when we talked about Vanessa, and Vanessa said and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the other videos of Vanessa. And she said she wants to live longer with her kids. When she see that box of cereal, she's like, oh shit. Like I got, you know what I'm saying? It's to either eat this cereal or live longer with my kids, A or B. Eliminate all other options, eliminate all of the excuses, okay? So that's figuring out who are you and figuring out why, figuring out how to like use that in your favor, okay? Boom. Body types. Okay, we're gonna move to body types now. We got 3 different body types, and each of your body types, this is where you really want to lock in. And if you got notes, I would recommend grabbing those as well, because this is where it's like it gets a little tricky, but don't be too discouraged. I wasn't a scholar, I wasn't valedictorian myself, you know what I'm saying? So I understand. So we got the 3 different body types. We have ectomorph, we have mesomorph, and we have endomorph. It is important to note, take this note, like, yo, depending on what body type you have, on top of like who you are, you're gonna have to adjust and tailor this like the workout to you. Okay, so ectomorph, some characteristics of ectomorph. All right, these guys or ladies seem to be a lot skinnier, like lengthier, like lengthy, like lanky, very, very lanky. Okay, long arms, long limbs. You know what I'm saying? They have the ability to have some amazing physiques. But they ended up typically when they get fat, it's like a really, really it's kind of strange because it's almost really difficult to do that to yourself as an ectomorph, but it happens. Me myself, I started off as an ectomorph. I'm still working into like this mesomorph area, but I don't want to blur you with too much like all these morph and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But basically, this is the skinny folk, all right? This is the lanky folk, okay? Mesomorph. Now this person is more filled out, like filled this person, man or woman. You don't see many women that are mesomorph really, but filled out. They're pretty sharp, look pretty good year round. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it could be genetic. Some of it, you know what I'm saying, could you have transitioned? You could literally go from an ectomorph to a mesomorph. You can go from a mesomorph to endomorph. You know what I'm saying, and vice versa. You can like, you know what I'm saying. Now when the mesomorph is also a little maybe a little like a little bit stockier, but nothing crazy. And when you get fat, it's typically not like your fat isn't it might be a little bit harder to lose the fat because it's more stubborn fat. Typically these guys are like beer bellied and like you know what I'm saying, but it ain't too difficult to, you know what I'm saying, stay lean, you know. You probably add an extra 10 to 20 pounds on, possibly, you know, during the winter or something. And a lot of times this is body dysmorphia, bro. A lot of times. All of these can have it, but mesomorph, if you know what I'm saying, you think you fat or out of shape, that's typically where you're endomorph, you are you are just flat out like you just stocky, you're like a block. You are literally like a block. Your calves typically are huge. You got cankles probably. Okay. Don't take any of this and be upset about it. Look, you are in your muddy phase. You're in the phase that you're coming to realization about a lot of things. So you also are stocky. You are plus size stocky. You are insanely strong, but it doesn't show. You don't have many cuts or definition in any way. All right. So I say all of this to say this, all right. Each of these body types have different macros, okay, and different ways of attacking the game. As an ectomorph, me personally, I struggle with carbohydrates. I struggle with carbohydrates. My body doesn't break them down the best, so that makes me adjust my protein, carbs, and fats. Hey, if I sat here and gave each one of y'all protein, carbs, and fats macros, I literally wouldn't be able to. Y'all think I'm stupid. So, hey, if you want something personalized, a little more personalized, just shoot me a message, and I'll shoot you a little mock of what I know of you. I'll do that. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and list out all of these numbers, but what I will tell you is for a base guy, if you can kind of do the math yourself. We'll say 250 pounds. He wants to lose 50 pounds. We're gonna put this ectomorph at um two. So we're gonna keep his protein at the same spot. Okay, pound per body weight. Okay, pound per body weight. Same with the woman. It already as hard as it is putting on muscle. It's very hard putting on muscle as an ectomorph. You got longer limbs. You know what I'm saying. Next to that, carbohydrates. Okay. If you have any questions, like I mentioned, always drop them. Always, always, always drop them. Carbs. This is something that you can get down more carbs, but like me personally, um, I don't like to push more than like 250, 300 on like hard like workout days, like leg days. You know what I'm saying? And then fats, those, I kick those around 60-ish grams. Okay. All right, now we're moving our mesomorph at 250 pounds. Um, Also, if you are a woman, literally just put 3/4 of these numbers, 3/4 of all of these numbers, and do the ratio, and you got the same numbers. You know what I'm saying? All right, protein, carb, fat here. Protein on a mesomorph, I would bump that down to closer to the goal weight because you don't have a problem like keeping on mass. So I'd put that somewhere like 225 and I'll drop that when I hit 225. Okay, so I'll move that back. I'll move that down to 200. You feel what I'm saying? Now, carbohydrates, this one you could up it a little bit more just because your body does a very good job at working the carbohydrate storages and everything like that. And then the fats, you're going to want to drop those to about 55. Okay. Now, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Yeah, yeah. All right. Even if you want to push 60, you'd be okay too. Like any of these numbers are subject to change, like depending. Okay. I'll explain that a little bit after. Endomorph, 250, same thing. 250, same thing. Endomorph, literally, bro, you need to put your protein exactly where you want your goal at. So I would put my goal. If my goal, don't do nothing crazy though. You don't need to be dropping. Honestly, you probably aren't even eating that many grams of protein anyway already. So putting it there would honestly benefit you. So we're gonna say you 250, you endomorph, you just a stocky Roblox character. All right, we're gonna say 180. All right, if you want to, your goal weight's 180. Okay. Um, put the protein at 180. Your carbs, even pull those back. We're gonna go about 200 yeah, about 225 on the carbs. And then the fats, we want to pull those, you want to pull those down a little bit more to about 60. Okay. So with the fats on the ectomorph, I made a mistake. These fats should be a little bit more. So like maybe like 108. That's a good spot. And then here, maybe like 80, you know what I'm saying? Around 80. And then here about 60. Okay. That's just because don't worry about what it is. Just listen. Okay. Y'all listen to me long, bro. Y'all trust me, bro. This is gas right here. Take a screenshot if you need to. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. That's that. Okay. So that is now, hold up, let me erase that. Body types. Okay. So now figuring out your body type is what you just did. Now you have to now we got to figure out how to work with your body. You got to figure out how to work with your body. All right. This is the final step. We already here. We already here. Damn, that was quick, wasn't it? Okay, let me open this up a little bit. Check this out. Okay, so step number 3, your body. Okay, figuring out your body. Okay, it's big time right there. So that's taking steps literally 1 and 2 and playing it back. That's taking steps 1. All right, who are you? Your body is literally just who are you, and how to figuring out. It's just who are you plus your body type is literally figuring out your body. Literally, this equals 3. So 1 plus 2 equals 3, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yo, like, how did he do that? That's so voodoo. I'm a master. I'm a master at this shit. You know what I'm saying? Master at this shit. Look, I'm gonna also say like figuring out your minds is also important. A part of you figuring out your body is literally you figuring out your mind. So literally get to the drawing pad, bro. Get to the drawing pad, y'all. Y'all need to get to the fucking drawing pad. You have to go start writing shit down. Okay, what I did. Now let me open this up a little bit because now we are done with that. What I did, all I did was boom. I went into the mirror and I was like, yo, this is what I desire to be. Uh, I started tearing up a little bit. Straight up, I did start tearing up. Because I was really unhappy with where I was, but I had that kick in my mind, and I was able to like literally visualize what I wanted, like straight for straight. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw the gutted abs, I saw the cuts, I saw the veins. You know what I'm saying? I saw all of that, and it came into fruition. I wonder why. I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. So I would say, as far as like an assignment for the day, I would do that. I would write down, get into the notepad, who, write down as you should have been taking notes. Who are you? okay, and what body type you are, okay, and figuring out your vices and figuring out how you literally write out what your vice is. So if my vice is A, um, I I like to eat carbs at night. Okay, write a solution to that. Write a solution to each one. Now it's the boring shit, like I mentioned, but how bad you want it? You know what I'm saying? Like we mentioned in the first episode. So moving to our next episode, I've been low key working these things, man. If you took value, man, I would really appreciate it if you drop some love and share the video to someone in need. Share the playlist, share the little like book tour, I guess, like a little book that we got going on right now. It means a whole lot. If you didn't take value, please comment why you didn't take value or shoot me a personal message. If you need further assistance, hit me up. All right. Like I mentioned last time, actually, I ain't gonna drop my personal cell again. Because if I drop, you gotta watch other episodes to see what my personal cell is. So I know you invested. You know what I'm saying? Yo. Anything else? Anything else I gotta speak on, Rich? Oh, I think I just dropped it in. Huh? They don't know what that means. But anything else you think I should speak on? All right, so if she says good, we good then. You know what I'm saying? Signing off. Yes, sir.